Wednesday, the 10th of March, race 2 on the card is a novice plate over 1,200 metres. First leg of the place accumulator, the race due off at 1:30. And Warren, an interesting race because it's a novice plate with only 8 runners. The best weighted column should help us. The official merit rating should help us. But the early favourite, number 5, Inherit the Rain, the only runner from the Mike de Kock stable that's been sent up to raid this meeting, is in fact rated to run last.
You know, I look at the best weighted column and the speed rating columns, and I'm not so sure I agree with them this time round, Graham. And my comment in here is, for my own personal notes, is it's a very strange race to assess because I don't quite know what to make about one or two of the runners. Dandolo, we'll talk about in a moment. Calgary shows pace and has been fading, and Calgary, needs to come back to best form. Dandolo, I don't know what to make of him. I say this with the utmost respect, and one of my family members owns a share in this horse, but I can't have him. He's let me down. I know he's got issues. I know that he's got problems. He might well win on the bridle, and I'll be the first to congratulate everybody, but he's made me gun shy now.
Well, obviously, the last run is no reflection of his ability. Absolutely flew out of the gates. Sean Veal couldn't hold one side of the horse, and he compounded, not surprisingly. Interestingly, that the very strong Wayne Agrell has been put up on Dandolo by Tony Riverland, who's got some nice runners at this meeting and had a win over the weekend with Vincent. Dandolo's dropping in the ratings, but even off his lower rating, he's weighted to win this comfortably ahead of Storm Chaser, and then there's a big gap to Higher Purpose. So the race rating for Dandolo off his reduced rating is 85. The race rating for Storm Chaser is 80. The race rating for Higher Purpose is 75. So this should be a clear-cut race. But like you, I don't trust it. I don't trust it because you can't be sure that Dandolo is going to deliver.
Well, you talk about Dandolo, Storm Chaser, and Higher Purpose, and I may have egg all over my face, and that's fine. But I don't fancy any of those 3.
Oh, I like Storm Chaser. I really like Storm Chaser. I think the run behind Valiente was a good one. I think stepping back over 1,200 metres after winning his debut as he liked by 1,400 metres, as you'll see from my list of horses to watch out for, Storm Chaser at 5-1 I think offers some value. But there's Tromso. The whispers are out there, and the early betting moves have been for number 4, Canadian Bolt. And why not? Canadian Bolt's showing signs of coming back to best form. But this is a novice plate that I don't think we can rely on the best weighted column. It's not a surprise to see the worst rated horse, number 5, Inherit the Rain from Mike de Kock, getting respect from the bookmakers. Luke Ferraris takes the ride. His form is good. The handicappers are going to have to go back to the drawing board after this race if Inherit the Rain comes out and wins, because he can do so. Tromso's knocking at the door. This is a very tricky novice plate. And to be honest, I'm going to go wide in this leg of the place accumulator. I'm going to include, obviously, the likes of Higher Purpose, and I'm going to include Dandolo and Storm Chaser. But believe it or not, in an 8-horse field, I'm going to put 5 horses in the first leg of the PA. I'm going to include Canadian Bolt, maybe even 6. Tromso, Canadian Bolt, and Inherit the Rain. I'm going to leave out Wunderbar, and I'm going to leave out Calgary. Now, you might say, well, that's crazy. But it's that tricky, and there could be so many reasons why horses are not going to perform. I'd rather put 6 horses in this leg and get through 3 out of 6, hopefully, because there are so many other bankers to come. Because I just don't trust this race. I think Storm Chaser offers value at 5-1. You could probably beat the favourite Inherit the Rain, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him winning, despite the fact that he's the worst rated. Difficult race.
Very, very difficult race. Strange race, as I put here. So interesting. We're quite against each other. We're different, but that's fine. I do quite like Canadian Bolt, and I'm encouraged to see there's some early betting support for this Path 4 gelding. But by no means a good thing. So yeah, I'm like you. I'm a little on the fence. I'm loading up in the PA. I'm loading up in the bipot. And we may be very wrong. We may be the best weighted horses might come home first, second, and third. But as you say, I'm not swayed in that direction. It's tough. I'm loading up, as Graham is. But my narrow first choice is Canadian Bolt.